been a trainer for 25 plus years, and I particularly train on entrepreneurship. It's something I have a passion about. And so when I sit here and I hear all the different opportunity, I naturally get excited, knowing that you all are entrepreneurs. How many people here either started or a major part of the beginning of the firm that you're here today representing? Raise your hand. Okay, let me challenge you for this. How many people, when you first started your business, no matter how many years ago, was extremely excited about all the opportunities? You were just excited, you saw the opportunities, they couldn't talk you out of anything. Well, I understand that from the day that you started to now, a lot has happened. Let's be honest, a lot of it has caused you to lose some of that excitement. And I know when I hear about projects, even this project, something so large, you hear about opportunity, but then you think about all the other stuff that's happened that's kind of kept you from really capitalizing on that opportunity. But if you didn't learn anything from this morning, you should have learned this. Every speaker that came up talked about change. They talked about how they were doing things differently. Marvin even stated this is a brand new ball game. And if we're going to be successful, and I mean really successful, we've got to really take the opportunity that's before us and make sure we're ready for it. Now, I'm not going to go into this because it's an actual course I teach on how to be a real success. When you look at real success, and we're going to use an acronym REAL, there are 4 things you need. One is relationship. And that relationship is being started right now. A lot of people at these tables are going to be a part of you being successful. A lot of people are going to meet through this process are going to be very integral to you being successful. So we're going to help you to build those relationships. The next one is equipping. Marvin and his staff have put together a powerful BJC 101 course that's going to help to equip you with all the information you need to be successful in the healthcare industry. We're going to help you, me and Sandra, with the business development part of it. As well as also, we talked about a little bit, the workforce development. Now, some of you are probably saying right now, workforce development is me and myself, okay? But our goal, and it should be your goal, is that 5 years from now, is you and all the people you've hired. And so part of that is helping you to develop workforce training for your new employees. And if you don't see them yet, just believe it with me. They're going to be new employees, okay? So that's you're going to be equipped. A, we're going to come back to, but the last L is leadership, okay? Leadership is very, very important. You as the CEO, the key people you have in your company is going to be very important. So we're going to have a component, which is personal development, that's going to help people develop strong leadership skills, okay? Leadership determines how far your company's going to go. So if you look at corporations, they spend a lot of time training people to be leaders. And often that training is very expensive, and often we're so busy with the work, we don't have time to go to that kind of training. Well, through this program, we're going to be able to offer you all that leadership training. But the A that we're going back to is attitude. Your attitude is going to determine how far you go as well. And so I'm going to challenge people to go back to when you first started your business. And don't let anything that's happened affect your attitude. We've got to turn skepticism to optimism. We've got to understand that this is a new day and this is a new playing field. We have to become new. We have to regenerate our mind, our whole process, and say, how can I make myself ready for the opportunities? Again, as Marvin alluded to earlier, maybe in the past we've been given fish. And that may have made us feel we've been successful. But now the process of learning fish will be difficult. It's going to be challenging. You're going to be stretched. But stretching is how you're going to build your capacity. You've got to be stretched to know how you have to develop. You've got to look at yourself critically. You have to look at your company critically. And we're going to help you do that through what we're calling our capable plan. So I'm going to, very briefly, because we've got a lot to do, just go into my slideshow, which is very brief. I'm going to go through it quickly. Okay, again, as you know, I'm a trainer, been training for years, and again, let me tell you one of my passions, adding value. Adding value to people is something that I'm really passionate about. And I think it's going to be a theme for you, for this whole group, is adding value to each other. Okay? I was excited throughout the break that I saw so many people coming to me in groups, together, already thinking outside the box that this is not a competitor anymore. This is somebody that's I'm going to help to add value to help us both be successful in this project. So that's just a picture. You like a 8.5 by 11 gloss, so you can order those. Well, you probably heard a lot of acronyms today: CBW, Capacity Building Warehouse, the BJC Toolbox, Campus Renewal, the PMO, ACW. I'm only going to talk about one of those things today, and that's capable. Okay? Capable is the one thing that, again, this is BJC 101. Capable is a little bit different, and we're going to talk about the difference in the capable. Okay? Capable is your capacity action plan and business life extension. Okay? Now, how many people know Sandra Marks? And she always has to make these acronyms, right? So she came up with capacity action plan and business life extension. I think only so it was spelled out capable. Because again, if you look at what's going to happen here, you got to be ready to expand your business. So let's look at just briefly the components of it. The executive summary. We've talked about the report card. We've talked about the quick fact sheet you have. There are key performance indicators that we're going to be tracking throughout this process. We're going to track your revenue, number of employees. Like I said, we're in this process to build capacity and to grow your firms. We're going to talk about diversity. Diversity of your firm. Okay? Do you have diverse employees? And again, diversity is not always black and white. You have local people. You have city residents. You have people that are new to the trades, people that have been around a while. How diverse is your workforce? We're going to look at that BJC report card. And that's where Marvin Groups really becomes integral, because they're going to help you to understand what's on that report card and how you excel on that report card. And if there are issues, they are capable enough to help you address those issues prior to the report card. Okay? We'll talk about things like your EMR rating and how to improve that. And also your financial position. We're not doing, how many people are in business for a hobby? Raise your hand if this is just your hobby and you have no intention of making any money. Okay, none of us, right? So we're going to look at that financial position. How did that change? Not just in revenue, but are you now at a place where you're able to be bonded? Are you at a place now where you're able to buy equipment and get credit at banks? Okay? So again, we're going to look at that kind of information as well. The next thing is the organizational part of the plan. How are you set up? What is your mission statement? Now, I know as an entrepreneur, a lot of times when you start a business, you get so caught up in the starting of it. You may have a plan when you begin, but very few of us actually keep that process of planning throughout our business. But what is your mission statement? We talked about relationships. What strategic relationships do you have? What opportunities, threats, weaknesses, and strengths do you have? We'll do a SWOT analysis. What type of services do you provide? What's your supply chain? Some of the challenges you're going to meet, maybe because you have the wrong supply chain. Well, look at that, analyze. Is there a better way to get that product? Your location. What's your legal structure? Who are your key people? Now, when we talk about training and personal development, it's going to be for the CEO, but also for your key people. So you want to start looking at your organization saying, as we grow, I want this person to be trained in certain areas, and that training will be available. We'll put together an organizational chart. We're going to help you also to build an external team. Who's your accountant? Who's your attorney? Who's your insurance person? All that goes into the organization. We're going to look at your marketing plan for the capable. We're going to look at it in particular with BJC and the healthcare industry. Okay? You're going to hear about opportunities. Every opportunity is not going to be for everybody. You want to target which opportunities you want to go after. Then we'll also look at your relationship matrix. Okay? You hear that word often. We're going to hear that word over because it's just a fact of life. People do business with people that they like. Okay? You've got to have good business relationships. And again, if you clear the slate, even relationships that were bad in the past can become good relationships. So it can help you to not only know who the people are you need to be talking to, but help you develop good business relationships with those people. Branding. In a project like this, as you start to grow and you're out there working, you want to make sure that you're getting branded beyond this job. How many people have seen big projects come in town and you have a lot of people working on them, but then when that project is over, that company's over? Okay? We're not going to let that happen. We're going to be branding ourselves throughout this process. So they're going to know when they come to a site, this is XYZ company. And XYZ company is growing. And you got public relations, you got networking, where people see what's actually going with you. Customer service. Now, when there is an issue, how are we going to handle that? Okay? No matter how great we are, no matter how perfect the situation, there's going to always be issues. The key factor is how we deal with those issues. So we're going to talk about that as well. Ooh, I went too far. Also look at your financial plan. There's some key ratios for your industry? Are you operating within those industries? Now again, it's a new business or a business that hasn't been really built a big back office. You may not know what those ratios are. We're going to have people come in to tell you what those ratios are. What's your gross profit margin, net profit margin? How long is your account turnover rate? How long does it take for you to get paid? How long does it take for you to pay your suppliers? All those things are going to be addressed. What's your break even? What's your business net worth? And what are some of the trends in your industry, your financial trends, okay? All these things we're going to be walking through with our capables. And one of the things that's really going to be important, as I mentioned earlier, is CEO development, okay? Before we grow your company, you got to grow yourself. And we're going to help you to do that. We're going to look at putting together what we call a personal entrepreneurial plan. How long do you plan on being in this business? What is your succession plan? I mean, have you thought about the fact that you won't be doing this forever? Or you turn it over to your son, your daughter? Are you going to sell it? What is your personal entrepreneurial plan? You know, you might say, I only have 5 years and I want to be out of business. I want to go, not be out of business, but do something differently, okay? Leadership development, not only for the CEO, but for the staff. If you're going to grow your company, part of you as the CEO has to stop working in the company and step back and start working on the company. And the only way you can do that is you put in place leaders that you're confident enough to step back from the day-to-day stuff and do the actual vision casting that a leader has to do. So we help you to develop those leaders. Communication skills. Most of the problems that I hear about construction projects, or any project in general, when you break it down, it all comes back to communication. There was a lot of talking, there was a lot of this, but was there any real connection? And if you talk to different people, you'll hear different stories because there's no true communication. We're going to talk about how to have not only good communication, but communication that connects. Relationship building. You know, again, that word relationship keeps coming up because it's very, very important. How to build a healthy business relationship. You know, I teach a thing on networking, and I talk about the fact that most people think that I'm a people person, I'm a good person, I'm nice to people, I talk to a lot of people if they have a relationship. You don't. You really don't. And you really don't know you have a relationship until you go through actually determine what does it take to have a true business relationship. If you got a business relationship, it shouldn't be per project, it should be per business. So if I have a business relationship with you and it's only on this project, we really don't have a relationship. We have a relationship on this particular project. Strategic planning. We're going to walk you through SWOT analysis and other things that we're doing on how to strategically plan out. Again, this is a 5-year project. I'll probably go even longer than that. What is your strategic plan for those 5 years? Mentor-protege is something we're going to work with. And again, when I say mentor-protege, in the past, it may have been the one owner of a majority or larger firm working with a smaller firm. But now we're looking at just mentor-protege across the board. As you bring on a project manager, he needs to be mentored by a project manager from another company. If you bring on estimators, they need to be working with estimators from other companies. So it's not going to just be at the CEO level, it's going to be at different levels of your company as well. If you have a financial person that comes on, he needs to talk to people that are working in that capacity in other organizations. Now, how are we going to do that? Because as Sandra mentioned, you're going to see me and deal with me a whole lot, okay? We're going to do it like this. We're going to have some live training. This is part of one of them. We're going to have some actual workshops. You see a lot, when we go through the course, I'm doing a lot of panel discussions. The reason that is because although I'm very intelligent and know everything, I just know for a fact that there are people that know a little bit more than me. So when we're talking about finances, instead of me talking about it, I'm going to bring in experts in that area, in the construction industry, to sit on a panel and for you all to be able to ask them questions. Matter of fact, some of you all, as we go through this process, may end up on a panel to share some of your successes, okay? It's going to be very interactive, okay? No one gains anything from just a straight lecture. It's got to be interactive. You got to be able to ask questions. You got to be able to get real personal. So it's going to be interactive. It's going to be for you and your key personnel. So as Marvin said, if you can't come on a particular subject, send somebody that works in that area. We're also going to do some group coaching, okay, in that process. Then there's going to be some one-on-ones. That's going to look at the capable review. We're going to talk, again, that whole plan. We're going to sit down with you one-on-one and review that because each company is going to have a different plan. Some individual coaching. As we go through this process, you might say, hey, this is an area I really need to work on, and we'll develop a plan to work on that area. If it's public speaking, if it's communication, we'll work in that particular area. Again, that's for the CEO and key personnel. Also, your one-on-one may not necessarily be with me. It may be with a mentor or a protege type relationship. So again, instead of you coming to meet with me about a particular issue, you might be going to meet someone else that's working with you in that area. Okay? You're also going to do online. We put together an online training tool that's state of the art. You'll be able to go on there and you'll be able to do, for example, if there's a class out there on communication, you can just go online and take the class when you decide you want to take it within certain time frames. But again, it doesn't tie you up to actually come to a class. You can also be updating us. Again, we got these key indicators. So as you hire new people, you'll be able to go online and say, look, I just hired a new person. It's going to automatically update you capable. So when we talk to BJC or one of the people in the toolbox and we pull up information, it's going to be the latest information because you just went online and you're able to update it. It's going to be very interactive. Again, you and your key people. And off that online training, maybe individual coaching. I say, you know what? Meet me in, we'll have a teleconference to go over a certain project. I may have a group, let's say if it's somebody in a particular industry. I'm going to say we're going to have all the drywall companies on a phone call with a particular project manager about that project. So again, it's going to be very interactive in groups and also individuals. So that's how we're going to relate with each other. And this is my last slide. But I want you all to see the capacity building warehouse as your ally in this process. So as you go through this, again, I got very creative in this one. As you go through the struggles of the job and the pitfalls, Marvin's going to give you information that's going to keep you from falling in some of those pitfalls. Some other people in the capacity building warehouse are going to help you to build those right relationships. So just see the CBW, and that's one acronym you need to learn, Capacity Building Warehouse, as your friend, your shield, as you go through this process. So I am looking forward to working with everybody in this room. I've worked with some people already, but I'm really looking forward to watching everybody grow. And I can't wait, and you all shouldn't be able to wait either, for next year, the year after that, we're sitting here, and part of our meeting is just talking about all the successes we've had and how much we've grown as individuals and as companies. So again, I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to turn it back over to Marvin. And again, look forward to working with all of you all on this project.